Okay, let me do a quick check.
Hello.
Okay, please hang on for a while because it's lagging.
Oh, okay.
All right, we are on live. Hi parents, this is Coach John here from Learning Out of the Box, and today we have a special guest, and her name is Michelle. And and she's the chill mom, stay-at-home mom, turned author, blogger, founder, and CEO of MomBoss Academy. Hello, Michelle.
Hi, John.
Thanks for being here. And I know that your door is locked and your kids are right outside the door.
I hope I locked it. I may, you never know. Right? Sometimes you think you locked it and then you actually didn't lock it. They might barge in and they will say hello and you'll see them crawl all over me. But that's part of life as a stay-at-home parent or a work-from-home parents. Yeah.
Yes. And I can see from your profile that you are doing a lot of things. So probably you can share with our parents how did everything started, as well as what's the backstory?
Okay, wow, the backstory. Sit tight. Grab a popcorn. It's pretty long.
Yes,
but it really started from the day my daughter was born, my firstborn. When she was born, I just literally have to give up my career to be with her. Why? Because I'm not from Singapore, I'm from Malaysia, and then my husband is from Australia. So we don't have in-laws or moms to help us with the newborn baby. And I had an F&B business, which I started. F&B business, as you know, would take like 13 hours a day. So I no longer can work 13 hours a day, right? I had this newborn baby. So I really just had to just give it up and become a stay-at-home mom. And I thought, okay, I'm just gonna, enjoy being a stay-at-home mom, just go for high tea with my friends or whatever. But within 6 months, I was so bored. And one thing that didn't sit well with me was that I wasn't having the financial independence and relying on my husband 100%. Just didn't do it for me, because I think I was raised by my mom, and also we did not come from a lot of money. We were actually really struggling, and she was not in a, let's say, ideal marriage, and she could not get out of it because she was relying on my dad 100%. So since young, I can see that, and I just did not want that to happen to me, right? So for my inner security, I need to be at least earning some pocket money for myself, right? Because I still feel bad asking him for things to buy things that I want. It's not like he can't afford it, but it's just I just feel bad. I just want to earn my own income. So I started a blog from home. So the blog was my first taste of, I can do this from home while my baby's sitting right next to me. And the blog grew. Through the blog, I learned about business, personal branding, and the blog grew into a maternity concierge business where I help expecting parents plan the arrival of their babies, and that turned into a 6-figure business. And a lot of my readers, they follow me, and then on Instagram, I have quite a number of followings, and they were asking me, so Michelle, I see that you are doing this from home. I would like to do this as well. So can you teach us, can I ask you questions? So since then, I've been sitting down with them and giving them, pointers and blah, blah, blah. And after a while, I got too much, and I'm like, hey, I'm really passionate about building business from home. It's in me, right? It's my core sort of become a purpose of my own, and also because I have 2 daughters, and I feel like it will become a legacy for them. So when they become a mom, they no longer have to go through what I went through. I have to choose between career or kids, right? So they don't have to. They can start a business from home. So that's why I started MomBoss Academy.
Wonderful. It's good. Thanks for sharing. Yes, and I can also share a bit about myself. And I actually started off as a stay-at-home dad as well, and I left the previous job as a social worker because I want to spend more time with my eldest when she was born. Yes, and as a guy, I think I have many friends who have the misconceptions that when we are stay-at-home parents, we are drinking high tea every day, meeting friends, and having lots of free time and doing things that we want. Yeah, so when you started off, how was it like for you, and whether you have any challenges or any high and lows that you can share with us? Because I think it's not easy to start a business while parenting at home full time.
Yeah. When it first started, I didn't know what I got myself into, right? It was still exciting. I'm just I remember when I first got my first offer, you know, a brand came to me, oh, can you write us a blog post? I was offered $80, not cash, store credit. That means like store credits can like go and spend back. But I was really excited knowing that hey, there are brands who would want me to just write from home. And at that point, like I can say like today's I still take a long time to write. Writing is not like, it doesn't come to me naturally. So, you know, you take time to learn new things, and there will always be little obstacles or things that I don't know how this works. You know, I don't know how a blog works. I don't know how to set up a website. But when you get to that stage, you just learn what you need to know to move further ahead. So I think like having that mentality that I'm constantly learning, and this is just a little bump on the road that I need to get through, is a lot easier than like, oh my God, like seeing every hurdle, like, because every day you come across something that you don't know, and it's very easy to like, this is too hard, I'm giving up. Right. And also like with kids, I think with a lot of moms or parents, they probably agree that it's hard to find time to do your business, because there'll always be time when you feel like I should be with my kids, or they're like, mommy, you know, you try to focus, blah, 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 mommy, and then you lose your attention, and then you try to get back into it. It's like, you need to restart, right? So for me, is I've learned to, instead of find times in between their schedule, I now make time. So I make time. This time is like my time is on business. I have to work on my business so that I can make time again for them. Instead of just trying to like, or maybe I find a little bit of like half an hour here and there, 1 hour. And usually if I try to do it that way, it doesn't happen. You know, you never know, you get sway here and someone call you out, you need to go out, and then you go out, you know. So now I just like block off that time, no calls, you know, turn off notification and just work. So I find that it helps to build that momentum and get things going.
Yes, and I like the fact that you shared finding time and make time, and I think it's something that I can learn as well. Yes, and because of the circuit breaker, many parents in fact have their taste of working from home, and even right now. So can you help us to break down into like final steps, like so let's say in the morning, and you know that for as parents, our timing can be very chaotic as well, because sometimes while we make time, but because our children are crying or wanting our attention, we have to give the time to her, though we make time. So how was it like for you, and how can we actually better manage that?
Okay, so my daily routine, so I have a 8 years old, a 6 years old, and a 4 years old. Wow. So my daily routine, I wake up at 6:30, get the older one to school. I walk her to school at 7. I come back around 7:30, and then there's the younger ones kind of like, you know, wake up already, eat their breakfast. So my helper does that. I do have a helper. I'm not superwoman, I can't do it all. So I do have a helper that helps me with that. And then and then they go to school, and then by the time I get back, probably around 8:39, then I sit down at work, so to work. So that's great time, right? So every half a day in the morning until maybe about 2 o'clock when they come home, I have my own sweet time to do my work now, so which is excellent. I can understand when, you know, people might have kids of younger age, and you have they're not going to preschool and they're just there, right? What works for me is that I've always been quite a lazy parent. As in, I don't hover over my kids. I don't sit down and play with them. I do, but not all the time. So my kids, since young, they have always been very independent. They can just pull out the blocks, they just make mess, and they can play with themselves for hours by themselves. They don't need mommy there to like, mommy, play with me, because they know that, sorry, if mommy wants to play with you, I will personally come and sit next to you and play with you. You cannot drag me there, one. Okay? because I have my schedule. I am very clear about that. Yeah. So I think like having that, like not letting them know that mommy have mommy's work time, and if you just leave me alone for like half an hour, when I'm done, I will come to you. Because if you keep like mommy, and I will never finish, and you will not have my time. So they learn. You'll be surprised. Kids, since young, they get it. They do understand that mommy needs this time. Mommy needs this time. Same like, when we go out, I go out with my husband on date nights. It doesn't happen very often, but when it happens, they're like, why are you, going out without us? Then we need to say, you know how I spend time one-on-one with each of you? I need to spend one-on-one time with daddy. And they're like, oh, okay. So give them credit that they will understand.
Wonderful. Yes.
Yeah.
Was there a time that you get soft-hearted and then you just relented and give them what they want?
Oh, I'm sure I have. I'm sure I have. Very sure I have. It's like, because right, with work, a lot of time we think that everything is urgent, but really when it comes down to it, it's really not that urgent. What is it that like? I always look at a list of things that I need to accomplish today. Is it something that I have to do by myself? If it's not, well, now I have a team. So my team all work remotely. So if it's not, can I pass it to someone else to do it? Okay. The second thing I look at it is like, does it have to be done now? Is it really that can I still like squeeze it later when they go to bed, or can I still like do it tomorrow or next week or whatever? So every day, instead of having a list of like 10, 20 items, I really have 3 items that I have to knock out. That's all I give myself, because I've been where everyone was before. Like, these are little tricks that I learned along the way, through mentors or like working by myself. I used to be that person who has like 20 things on reminder, things to do, right? And even though, let's say I'm very productive on that day and I knock out 8 out of 20, I will still feel so bad. Like, I've been so unproductive. There's still so many to do. So let's not do that to yourself. Let's wake up and say, I only have 3 things that I have to knock out today. And it's just a lot easier. And after you knock out the 3 things, you are free to go and spend time with your kids. And if you are really productive and you really feel like working some more, then you do the other things, right? Do the things that maybe tomorrow, then you free out tomorrow. So you feel a lot more better about yourself on a daily basis, because as you know, as a solopreneur, we need to encourage ourselves every day, right? Because if we fall back, we're like, oh, I'm behind. And then, the second day, I'm behind again. And after a while, you're like, I don't want to do it anymore, So I think like just not setting ourselves up for failure, just 3 main things that you have to do it by yourself. Just do it.
So when you say 3 main things, how do you decide these are the 3 main things?
Yeah, is this thing has to be done by me.
By you,
if it's not, if it's like I see a pile of things that are maybe soft toys that need to be given away, right? I do want to clear it, but does it have to be done by me? Can I ask my helper? Right?
Delegation.
Or like this email, someone wants me to give them their opinion or whatever. Is this really urgent? Is it like a paying client, or like, do I need to get back to them today? Maybe not. So then don't put it on today's list. Put things that maybe like, okay, I need to submit this to my client, because I work with brand clients as well as an influencer. So like, okay, I need to submit this video. I need to edit this today. So do that. Or like even editing, sometimes like, I can edit it, but do I want to do it myself, or can I pass it on to my intern? So so those are the questions. And if it's like, I have to do it myself and I can't delay it any longer, and it's really important, it's a needle moving thing, because sometimes there are things that it's not urgent, it's not wanted by somebody, but it's to move our own goals, right? We need to create a product, we need to launch something, then those things goes on to the top 3 per day as well.
Wonderful. Yes, and I can relate to what you're saying when you say that sometimes we have fixed our mind saying that we got to finish that 3 things. And it happens to the best of me in a sense. I always try to do the 4th thing, and the fifth
Yes.
thing, and it just
Yeah.
spiral out of control. So how do you manage that? Because I think I'm here to learn from you as well, because I am a workaholic, I think, and I will
I
do.
am workaholic as well, but I am proud to be one. You know why? Like, and people say, "Oh, you're such a workaholic." You know why I'm proud to be one? Because we are passionate about what we do. It gives us so much joy. And people who say, "Oh, they're such workaholic," it's probably because they don't enjoy their work. They can't find the joy in their work. You know, so I feel like workaholic. If you enjoy your work, that's your hobby. It's my hobby, I must say. Then it's fine. It's totally fine.
Yes, I also want to go deeper in a sense of, so what is going through in your head when you find yourself trying to do the fourth thing, but you know that you have that's it for you and you want to spend more time with your children. So what's going in your head then?
Yeah, sometimes it's like, I'm really want to knock this out, right? I know what you mean. Like the fourth item, the fifth item, if I just knock this out, right? Then I think I have learned the lesson, because I realized it when my third and last, I'm not having any more children. When he turned 1 year old, I found that we threw a birthday party for him, and I had this like tinge of regret that I felt like I have not enjoyed him when he was a baby. You know, that first year they grow up so fast.
Yeah.
Like I remember I spent a lot of time with my first one and then my second one, but I think because my business was really picking up when I was pregnant and when he was baby, so I really felt like I did not enjoy him enough when he was a baby, and I really missed out on that. So I think that's sort of like a learning lesson for me to come on, sit down and enjoy them now before they grow up so quickly, because really time goes by so quickly. And my purpose, and I need to always be reminding myself that why am I starting business from home and not go and get a job, right? It's actually a lot easier to just get a job, right? Why am I doing this? Is because I want to spend time with them. And if I'm not doing that, then why am I even doing this? So I think that having that, I am starting a business from home so I can have the freedom of time to spend time with them. So let's just stop right now and do what I set out for this business to do.
Great. Yes, yes, I can sense that because we are self-employed, so probably we may have more control over our time. And I believe that you have worked very closely with your students who are moms or for mommies as well. And so how and I'm pretty sure that some parents, they may really want to do more things. So how do you get them to manage that? Because I also hope that this sharing can benefit parents who are employed in a sense, and you know that sometimes they just have this mountain of tasks that they have to do, and everything is urgent, and everything is you got to do it now. So how do we manage that?
It's a tough one, John. I mean, I really salute working moms who have to work. I don't know, maybe they need to leave home by 8 o'clock and then work until 5:36. By the time they get home, it's like really quickly chop dinner and then put the kids to bed, and they really have very little time for their family. And that's actually one of the main reasons a lot of my students are working mom who are thinking of starting a business from home. So then they can have the flexibility of time. So for moms who really have no time with the kids, I know a lot of people are there because it's the circumstances, right? They need that salary in order for to afford the lifestyle that they have for the kids. I think knowing that, be clear that if I work a lot this season, maybe you're an accountant, you have your peak season and your lower season, then do take time off to spend time with your kids. Like, even if you're not going on holiday, it doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to go overseas holiday. Even if you just take your annual leave, use up your annual leave to just stay home with the kids, it's okay. And don't feel guilty. I think a lot of working individual or parents, they feel like there are a lot of more driven single adults out there who can spend a lot more time at home, and I'm a parent. I'm already feeling like every day I'm rushing home where my colleagues are staying late. So do know your priority, right? You are a parent now, and your priority is, of course, your family, and a job is just a job. There's always tomorrow to finish up, right? And know that I think, yeah, it's hard to get through that parent guilt, right? I don't know why, it's just so hard. But for me, it's like I tell myself, yes, there are times like now is better. Like you can do Zoom like this, right? I mean, before this, there will be some days, like a whole week, I'll be out for dinner with clients, or there'll be events to attend. Like for three days straight in a row, I don't have dinner with them. And I tell myself, okay, fine, this is what I need to do now. But maybe on the weekend, I'll just shut off my computer. I'll be all with them. So that's sort of like, sometimes the kids, they don't really care that you're not there for three nights. They're okay when you're there on the fourth night. It's just we need to get over our guilt. And I always like to tell parents that guilt is not a bad thing. Embrace guilt. Guilt is just our inner self telling us that we need to do better. And when you feel guilt, it's good. We have a conscience. We are telling ourselves to do better, so do better.
Great. Yes, probably allow me to share because I also learned from other parents as well, and they do have this family routine, and one of them is to spend half an hour of undisturbed time just before their children sleep. Probably sharing with the kids how was their day, the highs and the lows, and then I think it helps in a sense that there's this mom who also shared that it was a long day for her and she was very frustrated, and she actually shared with the child what she was feeling and all the downs, and the child actually got to better understand what mom's going through. So probably that may help as well. Yes. So for your case, do you have such family routine, probably within a day or in a week, that is always this thing that you do with your child?
Well, every night, like before they go to bed, we do sort of like spend time or watch a little bit of TV together, or well, actually my husband does the bedtime story.
Wow.
Yeah, he's very patient, and I'm just more like chop 8:30 lights out. He's kind of like take their own time to like, let's read a bit of story, and then they play a bit of wrestle on the bed. And then I think maybe because like I walk my kids to school, so that's my time with them. And on weekends, on Sunday, we usually just spend the whole day by ourselves. And on weekends, Saturdays, we usually have some sort of events or some shoots. We do quite a number of shoots on Saturday, and my kids like doing that with me. And they like seeing that mommy's in doing business, because they are like, an email come in and I have like a sale, or someone sign up for something, or a book is being sold, and they were like, yay, mommy got business. So it's amazing. I love that it's the entrepreneurship side is running off them. My oldest one wants to start her own business already, and she's thinking of, she actually have started doing sales at school. Wow. I'm not sure if that's allowed. So what she does is like, she didn't like make the things first. She actually collect pre-orders, and then she come home and then she make little beads and like bracelets and necklaces. And now she wants to move on to make slime, so like higher price product apparently. So I just let her do her thing.
Well, and I guess that she learns this by observing what you've been doing for the past 12 years.
Yeah, I think so. Like, yeah, because she wants to get her own iPad. So I think, well, fine, that's okay, as long as you earn your own money. I mean, we don't mind helping her out with the capital, but you need to go get that sale. You need to find out like how to talk to people and how to make that happen. Yeah.
Nice. Yes, for the past half an hour, we've been sharing about the very nice things about working from home when we get to spend more time with our kids. But at the same time, from my experience of of working from home as well, I do feel depressed sometimes, and I'm not even sure whether I'm in any state of depression. I'm not sure as well. Yes. Yeah. So I think it will be good if you can share some of the lows as well, so that we can help the parents to put everything into context, because sometimes working from home has been painted as well. Is this you can do whatever you want, you're the boss, and then you can have all the free time that you want. Yeah. So probably you can share with us some of the
Wow.
lows.
Okay. You want me to talk about low? I'm generally a very positive person, so it's very hard.
I can see that. Yeah.
So, okay. Lows would be, yeah, you're right. So like, you get lonely, you don't know who to talk to. But so I think it's good now because we are in a mentorship program together, and then we have sort of like our chat group that you talk to fellow entrepreneurs, so it doesn't make you feel like you're so alone. And I have a team now, so I kind of like I kind of like chat and haha with my team member throughout the day on WhatsApp sometimes. And so it's not so alone right now, but I still remember there were days, like especially during the startup time, when you're all alone, you're not making money, and you're not sure what you're doing is actually working, and it can do a lot to kind of like make you feel depressed at times. So what made me feel depressed?
Probably you can share, if it's okay, maybe when something that you thought is working well for you, but it didn't.
Wow, oh my God, that has been a lot as well. Like as an entrepreneur, we try so many things that are like, sometimes you just test it. Oh, it didn't work. For me, it's like I just forget about it and move on to another tactic. I'm actually okay with it. What have I tried really like, but it really backfire?
Yeah.
I don't know, probably like, yeah, I think like when I first started like blogging, right? When you first started writing and you expect people to read it, and you're like, oh my God, there's like, I don't know, 3 people and one of them is my parent or something, right? And then it's like, so depressive, so depressing. And then you share it with other people, and I don't know, what is it that's really sad for me? Oh, okay. So my F&B business, when I first started, right, it was actually in a cafe concept. So it's my standalone. I spend money on the reno. It was very pretty. It was very like, bright and airy and stuff. But within 3 months, actually within a month, I knew it's not working. I have a full staff there. I was losing money every day. And within 3 months, I had to close it down. And I lost like $45,000 or something like that, because you can't take away all the fittings and stuff, right? And I have to like downgrade my vision of this like grand cafe, and like I can like franchise it with my model and la 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 la. And I actually have to like bite the bullet and bring it into a food court. So like, and I have like staff who quit on me because they didn't want to work in a food court. That's like a bit degrading, right? It's like work in a cafe is like slightly different from working in a food court. But no, I was just still there, rolling up my sleeve. And it being in a food court, right? The good thing is at that time I didn't see it, is that they have very like set rules on how each photo should look like, where it should be. They have their own formula, but I was like, but I have my own dream. I want it to look a certain way, but being in there, you need to sign a kind of like a contract to look the same. So they want all their store to look consistent. So I followed their formula, and it worked. From the very first day, very first month, we make money. So I learned to sometimes, yes, we may have grand dreams, but listen to people who have the formula. They know how this works. They run the food court. They know how you can attract people, instead of like, I want to do it a certain different way, So I do kind of like sneak out a little bit of like once in a weekly special to sell, like to put my own spin on things, because I like being creative things, coming out with recipe. But in general, so that's when I learned, first of all, I lose money. and they have to like shut down my grand dreams, bit the bullet, be in a food court and like really work in the food court, serving people on my feet for like more than 13 hours a day. But it made money, and it's still it still went along with my purpose of feeding people wholesome, healthy food, which I was doing. It's just in a totally different from how I imagined it would be. And then it actually grew pretty well, and I had a couple of outlets, one in Great Wall City and one in Raffles City, before I had to give it up for my kid lah. So that was a good learning experience, and and listen to people who know the formula.
Yes. Plus, I'm very impressed in the sense when you shared that you lost money, and I can still see this big smile on your face. Yeah. So
well, I mean, like there were times, like
yes.
I really lie down there and like my heart literally feels pain, like really heartbreak. You can feel it physically, like it's painful, because that was kind of like almost my working life savings, right? When I was working for people before. So that was my very first business that I invested in. So it's like really all my money. So yeah, that was like, oh my God, why did I do that? Oh my God, that was so stupid of me. And yeah, it's I mean, now it's been 10 years. So I learned from that and I grew from that. So at least I have a story to tell now. So
yes. Yes. And I also want to dig a bit more, because I am very amazed for the fact that you are someone, and it seems to me that you're someone who bounced back really fast. So when things didn't go your way, what was the inner dialogue or the inner dialogue going on in your head that helps you to bounce out faster while feeling the pain at times?
Yeah, I think it has to do with my childhood. Like I did not have a very good childhood. It was I mentioned a little bit earlier that my father wasn't really in existence in my early life. He was separated from my mom, and we were struggling financially, and but I think even though we were going through that hardship, and I knew that since young, because my parents were really young parents. They got married when they're 20. So when I was like 5-6-year-old, they were only 25, 26. They're still not mature, okay? So I have already like taken on this, like I'm the eldest in the family. I have 2 younger siblings. And I've always been the problem solver, or maybe because, I've already endured so much hardship in my life, and I felt like I can always overcome them. Even though my circumstances was not perfect, it was less than ideal. My mother has always instilled self-confidence in me that you can make this happen. Your happiness is in your hand. Don't put it into someone else's hand. And also because she passed away very young. She passed away when she was 34. I was 13. So since that age, I knew that life is short. So whether you want to dwell in negativity and all the bad things that could happen in your life, or you can get over it and move on and be happy. Life is short. So why choose negativity? Why choose drama? Why stay in that state where you can just, because you really don't know how short life is, right? So for me, it's just like, it's just a bump in the road again, and just keep moving on, because I just want to know that if tomorrow is my last day on earth, that I have done my absolute best.
And thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Yes, I can
my
hear
kids
the kids
are like laughing so hard outside.
Yes. Thanks for sharing the story about your mommy.
Oh, that's all right.
Yes,
I think
yes.
it is. I mean, our parents, right, is a huge part of us, our parents, and especially now that I'm a parent, I do want to become that role model. I'm sure that's the same with you, John. I saw your parenting post, and it's really I mean, like, it's very relatable, and I think every parent go through the same thing. There's, as much as there are parenting courses, everyone at every stages are just trying to do their best.
Yes, I agree as well. Yes, let us go back to the parts that I want to explore more, which is in your growing up years when you were 5 and 6, and you mentioned that you took up a lot on your shoulder. Yeah, and in today's world, I do hear of some parents who do not want their children to go through hardship. Like they want the ways for the children as easy as possible. Yeah. So what's your take on this?
Yeah, I can understand why parents do not want their kids to suffer, especially those of us who has suffered, right? Especially those of us who are like been through hardship. We're like, that was so hard. I do not ever want my children to go through that. But I feel that it is important. Like they don't need to go it down like that hard as us, right? I mean, I remember days when we had to share a packet of chicken rice between an adult and 3 children. You know, I went through those days, and I share it with them, and they would never understand, even though they're just like, oh yeah, right? I do not wish that upon them, obviously, but I do want them to not feel entitled, to not be entitled. Do have to go through some hardship. For example, like when I just mentioned earlier, she wanted to buy an iPad, so like I'm not just gonna like open up my wallet and just new iPad, you know. It's just she needs to at least work for it, at least think about it. But I also be very mindful because, you know, we went to that money mindset thing. I also do not want her to have this mindset that money requires hard work. You know, it just requires a bit out of like thinking out of the box, and it has to be earned. So I just want her to know that she needs to earn things. If she wants to do well in her studies, she needs to earn it. And it's not just me feeding her, you know. You want to, like for homework or anything, I do not sit next to her to do her homework. I'm not that kind of parent. Like, you do it yourself. After you complete everything, you bring it to me. I will check it. And if it's wrong, I will explain it if you don't understand. But I do not sit down there and then they're like, I don't know. Like, I just want them to see, like they don't have to be super 100% like clever and get everything right, but I want to see the attitude of trying, of going through, like actually, like, you know, like not having me sit down there and like use these and measure these this way, you know, figure it out yourself. So yeah, I can be very strict that way, I think.
Wow, I can imagine that.
Yeah, actually my husband is a lot more softer with them and kinder, so they know who to go for things. So I'm fine. I'm okay being the bad cop, because I think in the long run they know it's good for them.
Great. Yes, and I love what you shared. At the same time, I also I can hear some of the objections from parents, for parents who are experiencing this, while they have been feeding their children with answers, while they heard from you that this is a good way. But at times they find it so hard to transit to giving the children more freedom. So what are some of the ways that the parents can start to do this? Because I think it's a big struggle when parents who are always feeding their kids with the answers, moving towards, okay, so now I'm going to let go, you have to do your work.
Yeah. I think it's easy, you know, what us feeding them the questions is easy in the long run. It's easier, right? It's easier on us, it's easier on them. You don't feel so bad, and then they finish their homework quickly, we can wrap up and do other things. When they need to figure out it their own, they probably take like a longer hour. I always take, in parenting, I always take the long-term view. Am I doing today in order to like minimize my discomfort? Am I doing it good for them in the long run? I'm not. Just like a child throwing a tantrum, right? I can very well, okay, I give you everything you want to solve that problem right there and then. But you're not teaching him to own his feelings and like know that it doesn't work, because next time he's gonna throw himself on the floor again. So I have always been a very, okay, long term, is this helping or not? Okay, so maybe, I don't know, maybe your child, you know your child best. Maybe some child do need that sit next to me, mommy. I want you to be there. Maybe you don't even help them. As long as you sit next to them, they are more focused, then do it. I'm not saying that don't do it. Just you know your child's best. For me, my child has always been very independent. They can do it on their own, and I trust them to do it on their own. Sometimes it's because as parents, I'm not accusing people of like not trusting their children, but you just have to give them credit. Let them try it. If you haven't let them try it, how would you know? Same thing with my kids. When she was 5, we went to a food court. I'm like, she wants to order a drink. Okay, I give you money, go and order. But I'm really scared, mommy. I don't know. I don't want. I don't care. If you don't order, you don't get the drink. You kind of have to force them sometime. I mean, you can watch them. It's nothing's like dangerous gonna happen, but you need to like force them sometime to do things. And then when they've accomplished it, sometimes they don't believe it themselves. You need to give them the confidence that they can do it on their own. And when they accomplish that, they come back, they're beaming face to face. I did it, mommy. I bought this drink all by myself. I give the money, I get some change. So it's something that a bond that a parent should have with a child, that let them make mistakes sometimes, let them fall. Then only they can pick themselves up, right? So the long-term view is that if you parent your kid well, if you give them the right value, they have failed on their own, they become more resilient. Because as we know, we can't be with our children forever. At some point, they need to fly on their own.
Oh, that's wise words.
Oh, thank you.
Great. Yeah, talking about bonding, probably during the past few months, and some parents could have a taste of spending time with
Too
the
much
kids.
bonding.
Sorry again.
Too much bonding.
Yes, probably to some parents who want more bonding and it's never enough for them, and they may decide probably I should work from home. Probably I should start an online business and quit my job. Yeah, so what are some of your advice for parents to be able to transit properly? Because I think for me, I want to give parents the proper context in the sense of it's not so easy to transit. I mean, you need to prepare not just financially as well as also in your mindset as well. So what are some of the tips you can share with the parents who feel like, hey, now I learned from Michelle, it's time to quit my job and start an online business. Let's go, because I got someone to look for.
Yeah. I think first of all, don't quit your job yet. Until you're sure, I think I always tell people like, don't quit your job until you're sure this is for you, because it's always nice to see, someone do it on themselves, it looks so good, and then you do it and you're like, oh my God, this is so lonely. I'm so used to having colleagues to have lunch with, It's entrepreneurship is not for everyone. It's not. I always feel like, it would be so nice if I'm just content with having a job and being outside home, have a salary and don't have to worry about, am I making enough sales this month? But it can be, a business is like being a parent. It's hard, it's lonely, but it can be very rewarding because it is your own baby and it will give you that legacy, something that you built for the longevity, and you're not relying on your job, someone hiring you for in like the security, the job security, financial security. So you build something of your own that immensely, I'm so passionate about this, it's so rewarding, satisfying. And how do you start a business? How do you want to make the transition? Is that make sure you have at least 6 months of buffer money. Same thing, even when you start a business, you need to make sure you have 6 months of buffer money if you're hiring people. If you want to start a business, you want to quit your job, make sure you have at least 6 months. And in today's economy, I read that it's good to have 1 year to 2 years of your spending expenditure for 12 months to 24 months, just so that you are not so desperate and so hard on yourself to get this business up and running so quickly. And I also believe in, yes, it can take off really quickly, but to do it properly, to have a business which has longevity, you need to get the foundation right. You need to spend time like studying your market, talk to people. Are you solving a problem and positioning your business? And that takes time. It's not like I sit at home one day and bang, 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 bang out this business plan, right? People thought like you start a business, you write a 30 pages business plan. It's not like that. There's a lot of market research. There's a lot of testing this product. It doesn't work, bring it back, change a little bit, put it out again and see people like it or not, and then change it again. And there's a whole lot of things, right? And that's why I started this academy, to take people through that step by step and doing it right. And when you do it right, the reward can be 10 times, 20 times more. Like you know that people will be buying, and you are able to charge a bit more if you spend time in your product and you trust in it, rather than I'm so desperate to make a sales right here and I'm just gonna charge it as cheap as possible. And that is not sustainable. And also, one of the common mistakes I see people do is that they go to, I don't know, Taobao or Alibaba to find some product, and then like, oh, I have an online business, right? It's not like that. Go backwards again and like find out what people's problem is and solve that problem with either a product or a service, then do it. Because one product is not a business. One product is not a business, because you'll be so how to say, so desperate to just want to make this one sale. You don't have enough time for people to get to know you, to see the value that you're able to provide to them, right? So yeah, so I'm gonna get off my soapbox right now. I feel like I've been talking for a long time.
Oh, it's fine, because I think it's very, very important for parents to hear that, because sometimes to start a business, it has been painted as it's going to be all the way up, and there's no down at all. Yeah. So when they go into this reality, then they realize that it's all down all the way, and they have to learn to pick themselves up, and no one is there to help them at all. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I heard that you say that 6 months to 2 years of savings. Is this per person or per household?
Depends on your daily expenditure. If you're a dad, you probably take on more of the household. I don't know, maybe like your monthly expenditure is 5,000. So make sure you have enough, right? Of like at least 1 year to 18 months. I think 2 years is a bit too long. You should be making money by 6 months to a year time. So yeah, so make sure your family living standard is not affected first, right? Before you go on, like, you know, like, so that you don't want everyone to worry. You want them to still can afford to stay and, you know, dine out if that's your lifestyle. Have enough of that for 6 months to a year would be good. And if you have more, the more it is, the better. And then you start a business, so you know that, hey, I can take a little bit more time here to do this well. And I think the barrier to start business these days is so low and it's so cheap. And the technology that we have these days is just like, why not, right? I mean, 10 years ago, we were not able to do this, right? Now you have a TV show, John, right? We are like having an interview. Like 10 years ago, we can't even do that. You need to pay money to go on TV, and that's so expensive. And now it's free. So why not? So maybe if the wiser way, if you can carve out a bit of time in a day, on your work day, to like maybe just one day spend 1 hour or half an hour, get that momentum going, at least have your product ready to sell after you tested your market, and then you quit your job. That would be even better. More sensible.
Yep. Yes. And as for me, I would just want to add that it'll be good to get support from your spouse as well.
Yes.
Because there are times that when things don't go well, and the spouse may react in 2 different ways. One is, okay, you can just do your best and I believe in you, versus is, see lah, and I tell you it didn't work once, see when you quit your job. So I thought it would be nice to get support from your spouse first and really sit together and discuss about the backup plan.
Yeah, with that, I do have a advice, because I have a lot of moms who tell me that my husband is not very supportive. He thinks it's just a hobby. So I think it's just a passion project. First of all, don't say it's my passion project, or don't just give it a name. Say it's my business and I'm serious about it. And they may not understand. The husband may think it's your plaything lah. Yeah, just do it lah. But can you not spend so much time on it? Look after your children. Women have that, right? Because traditionally we still are supposed to look after the family. So the husband is like, why are you on the phone so much? And you're like, hey, I have to. I'm on Instagram posting here, right? Talking to my customers. So you need to tell for you probably, you have wife who worries. And for us, we need to let our husband know that we're serious about it. This is serious for us, that we built this for ourselves. Yes, you may be able to support us financially, but we want to do it for ourselves. Can you come on board and support me just for this?
Great. Can I also add that I'm not sure if this will make sense for a wife, because I'm a man. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm the wife. Probably I will just also add. I'm not sure how this will go. Yeah, but I need your support, because this unit is going to be tough, and I need someone who I trust and love to be there for me all the time.
Oh, I love that. So sweet. Wow.
Then all the men will like, okay lah, how much you want?
That works for husband lah. If you say that to your wife, she'll okay.
Yeah. Then this will get a man to give the wife a blank check. Okay, how much you want?
Oh yeah, true. Okay, how much capital you need?
Okay, great. Yes. And for parents who are watching this, and the reason why I got my friend to come on board is to really share with you, because she has lots of experience working with moms. And personally, I do have friends who wants to go online, because suddenly they find that they have more freedom to do their online business. So if parents want to find you, so where can they find you?
Okay, so you can come to michellehon.com. That's my website.
Let me share screen.
You can, Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, so that's me. That's my website, where I help parents, moms build businesses from home. We have monthly, so like a community coaching program. We have a year-long for people who does not have a business. I have a year-long mentorship program where we work together to discover your superpower, turn that into a business, and we build a product around it. So that's a year-long program, and that's only open twice a year. So just find me there, or if you are on Instagram, just find me at The Chill Mom.
Okay, there are many things here, and I want to go slowly. Yeah. Okay. When you say the year-long mentorship program, which one is it?
That's the mentorship. Yeah.
This one. Okay.
Yes. So it's twice a year, because I really help them like stages to stages. It's currently closed because we're taking our batch of students through right now. They're halfway through. We will reopen again in September. Okay, so if you're interested, just put in this your name in the waiting list, so that we can notify you when we open for registration again. So that's for moms who does not have an idea and really have no business experience at all. Then you can join us then.
Yes, and I find that you keep on repeating mom. So if a dad is keen, can he fill in the boxes as well?
I guess if you want, you can, but it's really geared towards mom, because mom has a different set of problems. From other business. There's so many business courses out there. I know, right? I'm not the only one who offers this, but I'm really, really aware of the challenges and the struggles moms have, especially around building a business. We have family to take care of. Like the time management side of things, and some of the mindset blocks that women would have. So so dads, if you're in tune with your femininity, so maybe you can join us too.
Okay, let me speak on behalf of some of the dads who are playing the motherly roles at home. Yeah, so what about dads who are like moms at home?
I guess okay, sure. We are welcome to have like another perspective, because what happens is that moms, we usually build businesses around moms serving other moms as well. So being in a community, not only that you get the expertise, the training, you also get that collaboration, that instance or like market research, right? Because your fellow moms are like, could be your very first customer. So I see it as a community training, lifelong friends that you can make there, really.
Thanks for clarifying. So sorry that if you are like moms at home, please don't fill in the boxes. Yeah. It's only for mummies. Yes, it's only for
but
mummies.
if you're in a startup, if you're in like a finance tech business, maybe you can get in touch with my husband. He's in the startup finance tech industry. So yeah, that's totally different from mom business. Yeah.
Great. Yes. To clarify, for mummies who are watching this, and I get nothing out of this. Yeah, just to show the good work that Michelle has done. So I thought it's just to increase your network and probably to give you more support if you think that you may need some help to handhold you. Yeah. So this is a disclaimer.
Yeah. And for moms who are in business, so I have a free video here where I talk about the 5 fundamentals of business, because building a business is very much like building a home. You need to get your pillars right. It's not just about finding a product and just put it on the internet and people will come. It's not like that. A lot of people say, oh, if you have a really good product, the people will come. No, it doesn't happen. There's a lot of marketing planning that goes behind it, content marketing, building your audience, building your fans. So that's what we talk about in this video. So yeah, so for that one, that's the link at the top of the screen. You can go and check it out. I also have a free Facebook group. If you're moms or you already have a business or you're thinking of starting a business, I have a free Facebook group just so that you can, get yourself supported and ask questions. It's Facebook/group/MomBosses United.
Okay, probably what we can do after this, we can just paste it in the main post, and then parents can find you from there.
Yeah.
Yes,
that would be awesome. Thank you.
With all the links shared, so which is the fastest way to reach you?
Fastest way? Well, this is like on your own sweet time. You can watch the video, but if you really want to talk to me, just go to Instagram or DM me. Instagram DM. I'm on Instagram quite a lot. That's why I used the Instagram example earlier. If you go to my website, you should be able to find emails there somehow to reach me.
Okay, let's see. Okay, contact page. Does this go to you?
Yeah. Actually, no. It goes to my team. But yeah, I shall be able to see it.
Contact Michelle on Instagram.
On Instagram. Yes.
Okay. So it's the Chill Mom.
The Chill Mom, yes.
Yes. Lovely photos.
Thank you. Yeah, those are my 3 children, and those are some of the content that I put out, the brands that I work with, and so I do work with content creators as well, like moms who wants to be a mommy blogger or a mommy influencer. So a lot of people think that it's not a business, but it can be a business if you understand the fundamentals of business, personal branding. So if you're a real estate agent, you are a freelancer, it all helps.
Great. All right, so we have come to almost the end of the sharing. Thanks so much, Michelle. Yes, yeah. So one hour plus. Yeah. Okay, so out of so many tips that you have shared, so what would be one good tip that parents can actually use it right now? Because probably they are swamped with their tasks and the contents. What would be one tip that they can use it right now?
For managing the time or for starting a business? What do you mean one tip for?
Yes, good question, because that's what I always ask. So now, because we have shared so much more stuff from home to business, even the transition itself. Okay, what about for parents who are thinking, probably I may want to change my roads, as in probably from a job to something that they like to do. So what would be the first thing they can do right now?
The first thing that you can do right now is ask yourself, why do you want to do it? A big why. Like don't start a business because that's the cool thing to do that you see your friend do. Don't start a business just because you want the flexibility of time. Yes, that is something that will come with it, but it's not all it. You actually work longer hours. Yes, you have flexible timing, but you may end up working more than you're at a job. And just really ask yourself deep down, why do you want to do it? For example, my reason is I want to be a role model to my daughters. I want them to show them that this is possible for them. And also because of what my mom went through, and I felt like if I can only be the mentor for that mentor that my mom missed out on. My mom did not have that person, so I want to be that mentor for other people. So then think about, what is your why? What kind of business do you want to start, and how is this impacting other people? What kind of impact do you want to make? Is it very important to you? And if it is, then all kind of like obstacles or things that you don't know, or waking up feeling bleh, I don't feel like doing it. When you have a big why, when you have a big purpose, that's just doesn't matter. Yes, we all sometimes wake up with, sore here, I don't really feel like it. But if you have such a strong why, such a strong purpose, that's nothing, right? Like, John, yourself, you have this strong purpose around your business. It's like, I'm sure you have your bad days. There are days that you don't feel like doing work. But when you come back to your purpose, it's like, right out, I'm fired up again. And we need that as an entrepreneur. We need that fire in us. Just keep burning.
Great. Thanks for sharing. Yes, for parents, to wrap it up for you, is to find your why. And if you can't verbalize out, it'll be good to write it out on paper. And I think it's good to do it right after your children sleep. If not, you'll be very distracting.
Oh, yes. I have a tip.
Yes,
what you do is,
please.
what I did is like, you use your voice recorder on your phone. Just turn on your voice recorder and just like, I wake up in the morning too. And just let it free flow through like, whatever it is. I wake up in the morning to, if it's like make money or eat breakfast or whatever, that's not it, right? You just let your mind just free flow. It might feel a bit weird at start, but after you keep talking, I want to be a role model because it will come to you eventually. And if you say it enough time, it will set in you. It will become your big why.
That's great. That's great. So parents, go and find your why right after this. Before you,
or you can talk to me.
Yes, go to at the Chill Mom.
Yes.
Okay, so right now I want to ask you a question that I always ask all my guest speakers, and because we are a Facebook group supporting parents in math, so somehow it's related to children having to sit for the PSLE at the age of 12, and I know that you didn't take your PSLE in Singapore, right?
Yes.
Yes. But nonetheless, okay, so allow me to bring you down the memory lane and going back to your younger days.
Yeah, we did UPSR in Malaysia at year 12 as well.
Okay, UPSI. So it's the same
PSLE, yeah. That determines which school you go to, which stream, and yeah.
UPSI. Oh, and another new word. Okay, so now as you go down the memory lane and to your younger days, and you see the 12-year-old Michelle. Yes, and you can see her looking back at you, and she's so close to you that you can almost touch her. What will you tell her?
Just do your best. Everything will be all right. Just do your best. Everything will be all right.
What a chill answer.
Well, it's true. I mean, I did get straight A's for my UPSI anyway.
Wow, but the chill
so I
and
am
smart
that student. I am pretty good at my studies. I have no problem. But at the end of the day, but I did not finish college. I finished high school, and because my family couldn't afford it, I went to work straight away. And so even though I was a very good student, I don't think my success today is credited back to education in a way. But mathematics is very important. mathematics is one of like the foundation that you need to have. You know, I think like, I don't know, adds maths and all that, trigonometry and all that, that's a bit different life if you want to be a professional. But the foundation, the concept of mathematics, like thinking quick and, you know, your probability, those are important.
Parents, do you hear that? Math is important. Yeah,
it is very important. Like, I think for me, I think my children, the most important subject is math that they need to nail, and English, communication, not so much like writing fancy words, right? Communications and like, yeah, Chinese, communications, languages, and mathematics. The concept, you need to know the basic concept, understand it, and you'll be able to apply in so many different instances in your life. Yeah.
Wonderful. Any more things to add?
Yeah, so it's not to do with, I think, it's not to do with grades. It's great that if they have good grades, right? All parents want them to have good grades. But if they don't, I think it's also important to know that children have their, have their pluses elsewhere. They maybe excel in something. It's not just academic. And I think like just getting the basic right. Pass lah, don't fail lah, okay? And if you fail, look for John, he will help you. And it's not about getting straight A's. It's not at all.
And I like the way you put it. It's great to get grades.
I mean, like, of course, everyone loves good grades, right? Yeah, why not? But if they can't, they can't, you know, but it's not all about it. Yeah.
Great. Okay, thanks so much for being here, and I really love what you have shared. And in fact, within 1 hour plus, you have shared probably most of your life, or at least the significant events.
Thank you so much for having me, John. It's been a pleasure speaking to you and sharing. And I think for me is, I've always say I'm passionate. I want people to know this, and I guess that comes through when you're passionate and you want to tell people what you do. Yeah.
Great. So parents, thanks for being here. And Michelle, don't go off first. Yeah, so we'll catch up again right after this.
Yep.
Let me just stop the Facebook. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye.